Hello, today I continue reading from The Age of AI and Our Human Future. I'm always missing the beach. Let me take a little sippy of my kombucha that I picked up from Whole Foods. No, this is not sponsored. I just like to give credit. Ooh, you really gotta love like that fermented, rotten taste. All right, where did we leave off? Computers, communication systems, financial markets, universities, hospitals, airlines, and public transit systems. Even the mechanics of democratic politics involve systems that are, to varying degrees, vulnerable to cyber manipulation or attack. As advanced economies integrate digital command and control systems into power plants and electricity grids, shift their governmental programs onto large servers and cloud systems, and transfer data into electronic ledgers, their vulnerability to cyber attack multiplies. They present a richer set of targets so that a successful attack could be substantially devastating. Conversely, in the event of a digital disruption, the low-tech state, the terrorist organization, and even individual attackers may assess that they have relatively much less to lose. The comparatively low cost of cyber capabilities and operations and the relative deniability that some cyber operations may provide has encouraged some states to use semi-autonomous actors to perform cyber functions. Not unlike the paramilitary groups that pervaded the Balkans on the eve of World War I, these groups may be difficult to control and may engage in provocative activities without official sanction, compounded by leakers and saboteurs who can neutralize significant portions of a state's cyber capacity or roil its domestic political landscape. Even if these activities do not escalate to the level of traditional armed conflict, the speed and unpredictability of the cyber domain and the variety of actors it contains may tempt policymakers into preemptive action in order to forestall a knockout blow. So we're talking about security and world order here. The speed and ambiguity of the cyber realm have favored offense and encouraged concepts of active defense and defending forward, which seek to disrupt and preclude attacks. Excuse me. The degree to which cyber deterrence is possible depends in part on what a defender aims to deter and how success is measured. The most effective attacks have usually been those that occur often without immediate recognition or formal acknowledgement below the threshold of traditional definitions of armed conflict. No major cyber actor, governmental or non-governmental, has disclosed the full range of its capabilities or activities, not even to deter actions by others. Strategy and doctrine are evolving uncertainly in a shadow realm, even as new capabilities are emerging. We are at the beginning of a strategic frontier that requires systemic exploration, close collaboration between government and industry to ensure competitive security capabilities, and in time, and with appropriate safeguards, discussion among major powers concerning limits. AI and the upheaval in security. The destructiveness of nuclear weapons and the mysteries of cyber weapons are increasingly joined by new classes of capabilities that draw on principles of artificial intelligence discussed in previous chapters. Quietly, sometimes tentatively, but with unmistakable momentum, nations are developing and deploying AI that facilitates strategic action across a wide range of military capabilities with potentially revolutionary effects on security policy. The introduction of non-human logic to military systems and processes will transform strategy. Militaries and security services training or partnering with AI will achieve insights and influence that surprise and occasionally unsettle. These partnerships may negate or decisively reinforce aspects of traditional strategies and tactics. If AI is delegated a measure of control over cyber weapons, offensive or defensive, or physical weapons such as aircraft, it may rapidly conduct functions that humans carry out only with difficulty. AI such as the U.S. Air Force's ARTU have already flown planes and operated radar systems during test flights. In ARTU's case, the AI's developers designed it to make final calls without human override, but limited its capabilities to flying a plane and operating a radar system. Other countries and design teams may exercise less restraint. In addition to its potentially transformative utility, AI's capacity for autonomy and separate logic generates a layer of incalculability. Most traditional military strategies and tactics have been based on the assumption of a human adversary whose conduct and decision-making calculus fit within a recognizable framework or have been defined by experience and conventional wisdom. Yet, an AI piloting an aircraft or scanning for targets follows its own logic, which may be inscrutable to an adversary and unsusceptible to traditional signals and fates, and which will, in most cases, proceed faster than the speed of human thought. War has always been a realm of uncertainty and contingency, but the entry of AI to this space will introduce new dimensions. Because AIs are dynamic and emergent, even those powers creating or wielding an AI-designed or AI-operated weapon may not know exactly how powerful it is or exactly what it will do in a given situation. How does one develop a strategy, offensive or defensive, for something that perceives aspects of the environment that humans may not or may not as quickly, and that can learn and change through processes that in some cases exceed the pace or range of human thought? If the effects of an AI-assisted weapon depend on the AI's perception during combat and the conclusions it draws from the phenomena it perceives, can the strategic effects of some weapons be proved only through use? If a competitor trains its AI in silence and secrecy, can leaders know, outside of a conflict, whether they are ahead or behind in an arms race? In a traditional conflict, the psychology of the adversary is a critical focal point at which strategic action aims. An algorithm knows only its instructions and objectives, not morale or doubt. Because of AI's potential to adapt in response to the phenomena it encounters when two AI weapon systems are deployed against each other, neither side is likely to have a precise understanding of the results of their interaction will generate or their collateral effects. They may discern only imprecisely the other's capabilities and penalties for entering into a conflict. For engineers and builders, these limitations may put premiums on speed, breadth of effects, and endurance attributes that may make conflicts more intense and widely felt, and above all, more unpredictable. At the same time, even with AI, a strong defense is the prerequisite of security. Unilateral abandonment of the new technology is precluded by its ubiquity. Yet, even as they arm themselves, governments should assess and attempt to explore how the addition of AI logic to the human experience of battle can render war more humane and precise, and reflect on the impact of diplomacy and world order. AI and machine learning will change actors' strategic and tactical options by expanding the capabilities of existing classes of weapons. Not only can AI enable conventional weapons to be targeted more precisely, it can also enable them to be targeted in new and unconventional ways, such as, at least in theory, at a particular individual or object rather than a location. By pouring through vast amounts of information, AI cyber weapons can learn how to penetrate defenses without requiring humans to discover software flaws that can be exploited. By the same token, AI can also be used defensively, locating and repairing flaws before they are exploited. But since the attacker can choose the target, AI gives the party on offense an inherent, if not insuperable, advantage. If a country faces combat with an adversary that has trained its AI to fly planes, make independent targeting decisions, and fire, what changes in tactic, strategy, or willingness to resort to larger or even nuclear weapons will the incorporation of this technology produce? AI opens new horizons of capabilities in the information space, including in the realm of disinformation. Generative AI can create vast amounts of false but plausible information. AI facilitated disinformation and psychological warfare, including the use of artificially created personae, pictures, videos, and speech, is poised to produce unsettling new vulnerabilities, particularly for free societies. Widely shared demonstrations have produced seemingly realistic pictures and video of public figures saying things they have never said. In theory, AI could be used to determine the most effective ways of delivering this synthetic AI-generated content to people, tailoring it to their biases and expectations. If a national leader's synthetic image is manipulated by an adversary to foment discord or issue misleading directives, will the public or even other governments and officials discern the deception in time? In contrast to the field of nuclear weapons, no widely shared prescription and no clear concept of deterrence or of degrees of escalation attend such uses of AI. AI-assisted weapons, both physical and cyber, are being prepared by U.S. rivals, and some are reportedly already being used. AI powers are in a position to deploy machines and systems exercising rapid logic and emergent and an evolving behavior to attack, defend, surveil, spread disinformation, and identify and disable one another's AI. As transformative AI capabilities evolve and spread, major nations will, in the absence of verifiable restraints, continue to strive to achieve a superior position. They will assume that proliferation of AI is bound to occur once useful new AI capabilities are introduced. As a result, aided by such technology's dual civilian and military use and its ease of copying and transmission, AI's fundamentals and key innovations will be in significant measure public. Where AIs are controlled, controls may prove imperfect, either because advances in technology render them obsolete or because they prove permeable to a determined actor. New users may adapt underlying algorithms for very different aims. A commercial innovation by one society could be adapted for security or information warfare purposes by another. The most strategically significant aspects of cutting-edge AI development will frequently be adopted by governments to meet their concepts of national interest. Efforts to conceptualize a cyber balance of power and AI deterrence are in their infancy, if that. Until these concepts are defined, planning will carry an abstract quality. In a conflict, a warring party may seek to overwhelm the will of its enemy through the use or threatened use of a weapon whose effects are not well understood. The most revolutionary and unpredictable effect may occur at the point where AI and human intelligence encounter each other. Historically, countries planning for battle have been able to understand, if imperfectly, their adversaries' doctrines, tactics, and strategic psychology. This has permitted the development of adversarial strategies and tactics, as well as a symbolic language of demonstrative military actions, such as intercepting a jet nearing a border or sailing a vessel through a contested waterway. Yet, where a military uses AI to plan or target or even assist dynamically during a patrol or conflict, these familiar concepts and interactions may become newly strange because they will involve communications with and interpretation of an intelligence that is unfamiliar in its methods and tactics. Fundamentally, the shift to AI and AI-assisted weapons and defense systems involves a measure of reliance on, and in extreme cases, delegation to, an intelligence of considerable analytic potential operating on a fundamentally different experiential paradigm. Such reliance will introduce unknown or poorly understood risks. For this reason, human operators must be involved in and positioned to monitor and control AI actions that have potentially lethal effects. If this human role does not avoid all error, it at least ensures moral agency and accountability. The deepest challenge, however, may be philosophical. If aspects of strategy come to operate in conceptual and analytical realms that are accessible to AI but not to human reason, they will become opaque in their processes, reach, and ultimate significance. If policymakers conclude that AI's assistance in scouring the deepest patterns of reality is necessary to understand the capabilities and intentions of adversaries, who may field their own AI and respond to them in a timely manner, delegation of critical decisions to machines may grow inevitable. Societies are likely to reach differing instinctive limits on what to delegate and what risks and consequences to accept. Major countries should not wait for a crisis to initiate a dialogue about the implications, strategic, doctrinal, and moral, of these evolutions. If they do, their impact is likely to be irreversible. An international attempt to limit these risks is imperative. Managing AI. These issues must be considered and understood before intelligence systems are sent to confront one another. They acquire additional urgency because the strategic use of cyber and AI capabilities implies a broader field for strategic contests. They will extend beyond historic battlefields to, in a sense, anywhere that is connected to a digital network. Digital programs now control a vast and growing realm of physical systems and an increasing number of these systems, in some cases down to door locks and refrigerators, are networked. This has produced a system of stunning complexity, reach, and vulnerability. For AI powers, pursuing some form of understanding and mutual restraint is critical. In cases where systems and capabilities are altered easily and relatively undetectably by a change in computer code, each major government may assume that its adversaries are willing to take strategically sensitive AI research, development, and deployment one step further than what they have publicly acknowledged or even privately pledged. From a purely technical perspective, the lines between engaging AI in reconnaissance, targeting, and lethal autonomous action are relatively easily crossed, making a search for mutual restraint and verification systems as difficult as it is imperative. Well, thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe. Catch me in the next video and may you find lasting happiness.